How's it going, everybody? Nerds Rising here, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave. In today's video, we are finally going to be taking a look at the top wins of October, and I've been looking forward to this one, guys. Now, I apologize already. We're like in the second week of November nearly, and I still haven't got the video out, so bear with me. I've been a little bit busy, and to be honest, this video format takes a very long time to put together, so I've just kind of been procrastinating putting it together, but we finally did it. So make sure you leave a like if you enjoy this type of content, because again, it took me a long time to put this together. So we're going to be taking a look at the best 8 battles that were submitted to me over the last month, and I only got 8 battle submissions, so normally it's 10, but in this video, every single person that sent me a battle in is going to get featured. So that's cool to see, but in the future, if you guys want to see maybe even better battles and have some more content, make sure you guys send me in your footage for the month of November, excuse me, because we're already well into November, so you guys can already start sending me in your battles for November if you want to. So let's get into the battles here. We are starting things off with dDTantAgda here in the Sunshine Cup, running Pidgeot, Shadow Blaziken, and Vigoroth. So let's see what he's got for us here. We lead a terrible lead. Unova Stunfisk into Pidgeot. This thing beats the Pidgeot, and it beats the Shadow Blaziken, so this is going to be a little bit tricky to see how he plays out of this. So, going to bring in the Vigoroth here. The opponent does chip with a Mud Bomb, and they're bringing in their own Vigoroth, and this is really unfortunate because they brought in their Vigoroth after chipping, which means one Body Slam is going to KO, and he's not going to be able to dictate alignment here, which, to be honest, doesn't really matter that much anyway, because the Blaziken really doesn't want to see that Unova Fisk anyway, but at the very least, does come in with the Blaziken here, gets a nice farm down, and they bring back in the Unova Fisk here, so they maybe weak to this Blaziken in the back, and I suppose it is better to see this thing against a Blaziken if you had to choose, because at the very least we can hit this thing for neutral damage, but this thing does outpace us, and look at those mud shots, oh my gosh, destroying the Shadow Blaziken there, and he does grab both shields and makes the catch. Did he catch a Mud Bomb? Yes, he absolutely did catch the Mud Bomb, very nicely done, and he still has a shield as well, so the opponent basically is going to have to get out of there, otherwise they're going to get Brave Birded, and they do try to get out of there. They have an Obstagoon in the back, and this is looking a little bit tricky because he's going to need an Aerial Ace and a Brave Bird to KO here, and I think he probably has to try to make another catch at some point to win this game. It's going to be very close here, does overfarm massively, throws the Brave Bird here, and the question is, does he know how much the opponent has in terms of energy? And yes, he absolutely does. He makes the catch again onto the Blaziken, and the opponent actually went for a Mud Bomb for some reason, so I'm not sure that would have KO'd anyway, but very nicely done, pivoting in and out and overcoming the hard counter lead and the core breaker lead for that matter. So very nicely done in the first game here. And into the next battle, we have XYZeke in the Sunshine Cup. And I apologize for the dimensions in this one. I'm pretty sure he must have recorded this on like an iPad or something, and I just had the worst time trying to get this thing to fit on my screen. So no move graphics on the left, but as you see, this Pidgeot is actually running Gust as we pick up the Vigoroth lead. So gonna shield the first move, makes sense, because now the Feather Dance is gonna debuff their attack, and they actually switch out for that reason, and he pauses for an entire wing attack there and catches the move onto the Shadow Steelix. Absolutely savage, and that just does no damage whatsoever, and massively overfarming here, and forces the opponent to throw on bad timing there. So nicely done. He is now quad debuffed, which means these breaking swipes are just going to do absolutely nothing, but it really doesn't matter because a Brave Bird is definitely still not going to be KOing the Steelix, and I really like here how he's massively overfarming, recognizing that he could probably save this energy and then throw it later once his debuff is cleared. So going to throw the breaking swipe here, and now going to bring in the double, bank some energy on the Steelix, and can probably fully farm down now that the opponent is debuffed here. Tanks a Body Slam, and the Vigoroth lives on 1 HP. Oh my gosh. They make another Body Slam, and they do get the double fairly low, and the opponent still has 2 shields, so this is still looking a little bit tricky here. There is a Shadow Gligar in the back, and Double now is going to do what Double does best, and that is just spam out these Body Slams for days, tank the wing attacks like they're nothing, and makes 3 Body Slams against the Gligar. Now, got a shield, and he is not going to get the final shield here, and the Gligar now has nearly 100 energy, and the nice thing here about the Gust is an entire Gust sneaks through as they throw, and now Pidgeot is going to win CMP after the sneak, and now this Aerial Ace is not going to KO, which is very nice. He is out of shields, but now I think the Shadow Steelix can close out this game. They try to bring back in the Pidgeot. They don't make a move. He farms down. And now, folks, we're going to end this battle with an Earthquake BM on the Gligar. And it still KOs. You absolutely love to see a little bit of BMing. So very nicely played by XYZeke. As we move into the third battle here, with fellow content creator Winregalia. And by the way, these battles are just in chronological order, basically. So we're going to be getting into this battle here in the Great League between Defense Deoxys, Dewgong, and Shadow Alolan Sandslash. And let's see what Winregalia has in store for us here as we pick up, really, I can't honestly think of many things that are worse than Bastiodon, but if I had to think of one thing, I think Shadow Bastiodon might be even worse than the regular Bastiodon. I just cannot stand Bastiodon whatsoever, guys, and the opponent is an absolute Spice Lord here as they safe switch into a Shadow Blossom. And I'm going to be honest, I know this thing has Leaf Blade, but I have absolutely no idea what the second move can be. And it appears Winregalia did not know either, as he shields the Leaf Blade, but they did make 3 anyway, so he was going to have to shield 1 anyway. So does maintain alignment, is down a shield now, but he has a ton of energy here, and the opponent actually brings back in the Shadow Bastiodon here, and they're definitely going to have to shield these drill runs. I don't think it would one-shot, even though it's Shadow on Shadow, but that would do absolutely massive damage, and the opponent gets a very nice farm down. He does get both shields here, but I guess we're going to see how much a Shadow Stone Edge does. Bastiodon still doesn't hit very hard, and that Shadow Stone Edge, it does a respectable amount of damage. Not a ton of damage, but a respectable amount of damage, and I'm imagining this is probably a really toxic fast move team, and it sure is. It is XYZeke in the back, and now the thing is here, he does make the move, but he has to shield, and the thing is, if he lets this Bastiodon get a really big farm down on his Dewgong, the Bastiodon can come out with the Stone Edge loaded for the Deoxys. So what he actually does there is he stops attacking, he lets the Deoxys get 1 extra counter on that Vic, which barely allows him to outpace to a Psycho Boost on the Bastiodon, and manages that endgame absolutely perfectly, because again, if he takes out the Vic with the Dewgong, Bastiodon smacks down the Dewgong and then gets to the Stone Edge before the DD. So very nicely done in that battle. That is just a high IQ play right there. As we lead into another Great League battle here with Zyrobite, featuring Shadow, Magneton on the lead, Pelipper, and Sableye. As we pick up a pretty neutral lead, the Shadow Alolan Sandslash into the Magnezone, and the opponent does elect to throw right away, so this is CMP to a potential drill run, and they do shield it, and he's going to respect the drill run again. Hopefully he doesn't get baited here. He doesn't get baited, and now should still make the move before them, and I believe this is actually just an Ice Punch. This should have been CMP again. Just an Ice Punch, but that probably still would have done massive damage. And now, is the opponent going to give up their last shield, or are they going to take their shield advantage? And they are, and they come in with the Gligar here, and now he's going to pivot into the Sableye here. So maybe could have stayed in, but I guess if the opponent would have gotten a massive farm down there with the Gligar, that would have been really, really bad. So I don't mind the switching out here. Does land the foul play. They do go for the dig here, and they have like a Golisopod in the back. And this is all going to depend on what the charge moves are on this Golisopod. If they're running Aerial Ace, the Pelipper is going to have a really rough time here, and we'll have to see. Go straight for the Weather Ball, just wants to get the guaranteed chip damage here. And what is their charge move here? Is it going to be Liquidation, or is it going to be the Aerial Ace here? And it is Liquidation, and this is okay now, because I think even after that debuff, the Pelipper should be able to farm down. But honestly, this is going to be a little tricky, because the opponent still has a shield. I'm not sure, is he going to be able to outpace this this Gligar to a move on his Magnezone? It's going to be very, very close, and he just barely makes the Wild Charge. This is resisted, but Shadow on Shadow, it absolutely one-shots. You love to see the Shadow Magnezone spice here. So very nicely played by Zyrobite here. As we move now into the Halloween Cup with Grant 1232353. As Nerds Rising rocks the commentary, we have Banette here, Zoroark, and Sharpedo. Very interesting team. Not a very good team for sure, but I am looking forward to see what he can do with this team as we pick up a Purified Golbat on the lead here. And this is a single move Banette, but honestly, Thunder would be one-shotting like 10 Golbats anyway, so it really doesn't matter. They go straight for a Poison Fang for some reason. Not really sure why they would do that, but we will absolutely take that, and we're going straight for the Thunder here. The opponent does shield it, and he actually switches into the Zoroark now. I guess this makes sense because I'm not sure he was making another move. He might have gotten farmed down there. And oh my gosh, that Poison Fang does so much damage. Wins CMP against the Golbat to get the foul play off. The opponent double shields their Golbat. Oh my gosh, guys. Are we about to see a Sharpedo sweep here? Poison Fang does take them out. He's going to wait a switch clock here. Come in probably in Waterfall all the way down. And absolutely is waterfalling all the way down. What do they have in the back? And it's a Jellicent. They're so weak to the Sharpedo. And is Crunch going to one-shot from basically full health here? We're going to have to see. This is a non-shadow. And of course, it one-shots from full health. There's a Nidoqueen in the back. They commit to the farm down. And now it's going to be a fast move race, and Banette wins on very minimal HP. And that is a 2-shield flex with a very, very glassy, very, very spicy team. So very well played to Grant there. That was a crazy win. And always nice to get the 2-shield flex for the road as well. Excuse me. And I believe now we are into the last 3 battles, guys. We have a couple more Halloween Cup battles as we see Meloette 2001 running a very, very spicy team. Houndstone, Crocodile, and Shadow Tyranitar. This is going to be very, very glassy, and I imagine there's a lot of core breakers in this team, so let's see what he can do with it here as we lead Houndstone into Greninja. Oh no, this is probably something that beats the entire team, and unfortunately lags as well, so the opponent is not only core breaking his entire team, but they're ahead on energy. And because of the lag, Greninja makes a second move before he can even make the dig. So basically fully sacrifices the Houndstone here. And this is going to be very awkward because this Greninja still is going to put in so much work. Going to have to shield the Crocodile and hopefully doesn't get baited. He doesn't get baited, and because of that, he actually is able to fully farm down there. And this is still looking really rough. And oh my gosh, guys, the opponent is bringing a Carbink into the loaded Crocodile. Oh my gosh, that's an Earthquake onto the Carbink that nearly one-shots it from full health. I cannot say I've ever seen a charge move do that much to Carbink before. And they have a Drapion in the back, and this is looking still really, really rough. The opponent still has 2 shields, and it looks like he's actually going to put it all on the Crocodile here. Crocodile is very low, but we are resisting the Poison Fangs. They make the last second move, and now the question is going to be, can he farm down? And he farms down on like 2 HP. And the opponent actually loses that game with 2 shields, despite running a very, very basic meta line. He takes the win. Very, very impressively done there, especially with that absolutely terrible lead there. So nicely done. And now we are getting to the last Halloween Cup battle. We have Citizennate here, running a triple yellow, triple B theme team. Very, very cool. Vespiquen, Ribombee, and Shadow Beedrill. And Vespiquen picks up a Zweilous lead. So this is pretty nice for the whole team, to be honest. All 3 Pokemon can do pretty well against Zweilous here. And the Vespiquen is also extremely bulky. If you guys didn't realize that, this thing is actually very tanky. As you see, it tanks that Body Slam very easily. And Citizennate here farms up to the back-to-back X-Scissors here. And I believe X-Scissors should KO here if the opponent doesn't shield. So maybe they're actually going to go down both shields. And they are, and now he's switching into the Ribombee here, and this thing only has nuke charge moves. It's very, very glassy. As you see, that Body Slam does a lot of damage, and they have a Nidoqueen, unfortunately, so really unfortunate that this move is going to be neutral, but that still does a lot of damage. And now I think we can just bring in the Shadow Beedrill here, probably. And I think Shadow Beedrill is going to be looking to sweep this game here because the Zweilous doesn't want to see the Beedrill, and they just go straight for a Poison Fang as well. So very easy no shield here by Citizennate. Wins CMP on the next Fang here with the Drill Run. And what is going to be that back Pokemon? Are they going to bring back in the Zweilous? They do bring back in the Zweilous, and they switch out just before farming down, and they have an Azu in the back. But if you're not noticing, guys, the Shadow Beedrill does actually have Sludge Bomb. And I think the win con here is going to be to massively overfarm because he has to be able to outpace the Zweilous to a move. So overfarming massively, is he actually going to commit to the farm down? And maybe he's actually going to commit to the farm down. It's going to be very close, and he does get the farm down on like 3 HP and makes the move against the Zweilous. Oh my gosh, very nicely recognizing his win con there, and takes the win with the triple B theme team. Nice win by Citizennate. And I believe this is the last battle, folks. We have Equarican in the Ultra League, featuring a very cool Vikavolt on the lead, the Hundo Mandibuzz in the back, and I believe Golisopod on the safe switch here. So let's see how this last battle plays out as we pick up Vikavolt into a Lowland Sandslash. So pretty neutral across the board. Is going to go straight for a Crunch here, and I believe this is just going to be a Drill Run, but it is neutral, but Vikavolt is very, very glassy, so I don't mind the shield here. That would do quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, does get baited here, and is going to try to make the catch of the second Ice Punch there onto the Golisopod, and unfortunately, the opponent is meeting him with his own Golisopod here, and they are on Aerial Ace, and he is not on Aerial Ace, so this is going to be a losing matchup. Already down a shield as well. So this is looking a little bit rough, not going to lie, because I don't think this is going to KO, so the opponent can no-shield if they want to. They do no-shield it, and now they're going to take him out with an Aerial Ace, and he doesn't want to go down both shields. No, he actually is going to go down both shields here, so does have switch advantage now, and the opponent has a Tapu Fini in the back. And honestly, guys, this is absolutely terrible because Tapu Fini has a 2-0 shield advantage, and Tapu Fini just completely destroys both of his remaining Pokemon with 2 shields in play. Obviously, Vikavolt can hit it for super effective damage, but not even running Discharge, so I'm honestly not even seeing a win con at this point. Does actually pivot into the Mandibuzz here, catches the Ice Punch, which honestly isn't much better because Ice Punch is still super effective damage, and honestly, I'm seeing the only win con I am seeing right now for Equarican here is if the opponent has a massive heart attack, as Jamie Finn would say. And he is going to take this Ice Punch here, but this is just looking absolutely brutal here. Is going to potentially get the last shield here, but that Tapu Fini is just too healthy. And yeah, the opponent's going to save the last shield for the Tapu Fini. And guys, unless the opponent for some reason no-shields this move, and they no-shield the move, and he farms down the A-slash, and oh my gosh, win con spotted. The opponent is just an absolute potato. That was the win con, guys, all along. And somehow Equarican takes the win there when he had absolutely no right to do so. So yeah, that's our wins, guys. That's our 8 wins here. Thank you so much for watching. As you see, no honorable mentions in this video because everybody that got a battle submitted basically got featured here. So previous winners, as you see, Jamie Finn has taken 2 of the 3, but Jamie Finn did not submit a battle, so that means that you guys have a chance to win it here. And in about 24 hours, I think I will probably put this poll out, and we will crown our next top wins of the month champion. So again, thank you to everyone who sent in the battle. Thank you so much to everyone watching. Make sure you leave a like. As I said in the intro, this does take quite a bit of time to put together, and if you are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button because the more subscribers we can get, the more Pokemon my wife will let me play.